been looking into Sonic Racing CrossWorlds lately, and while the game's looking decent overall and there's a lot of cool stuff going on, something caught my attention that a lot of people are talking about. It's the Werehog, or more specifically, the fact that it doesn't even say anything. In all the gameplay and trailers we've seen so far, the Werehog is just completely silent. No voice lines, no growls, nothing. And I thought, okay, maybe they're just saving it for later. But then I remembered something Roger Quaid Smith said at the panel recently. He confirmed that he's voicing Sonic on Omega, but not the Werehog. And it's not like he didn't want to. It's that SEGA would have had to pay him more for a third voice, and they apparently didn't go for it. So now that raises a bigger question. If characters like the Werehog might not get voice lines, what about the others? Because if SEGA didn't think it was worth paying extra for a character like the Werehog to speak, then it's very possible they're doing the same with other characters too. Like the Sonic Prime versions, Tails 9, Rusty Rose, Knuckles the Dread. These characters were fully voiced in the show, but in CrossWorlds, we haven't even seen them in actual gameplay yet. Just brief image flashes in trailers that confirm they exist, but no actual footage and definitely no voice lines so far. And that's kind of a shame, because these characters were some of the more interesting takes we've seen in recent Sonic media. Tails 9 especially had a ton of emotional weight in Prime, and Rusty Rose was a fan favourite, so to bring them into a game and then possibly leave them silent, it almost feels like a missed opportunity. It makes me think Sega's probably treating a lot of these characters more like skins or bonus races. Like, they look cool, but maybe they don't want to invest extra money to make them sound like themselves. And it's not just the Prime characters, we've also got collabs like SpongeBob and Patrick coming to the game as part of the Deluxe Edition, and those are characters people definitely expect to talk, but licensing those voices is expensive, and if they were already cutting corners by skipping Werehog's voices, they're probably not about to pay for someone like Tom Kenny to come in and do new SpongeBob lines. Best case scenario, they might reuse old clips or just leave them silent too. That leads to an even wider issue. If characters are mute, does that affect how fun they are to play? I mean, yeah, voice lines aren't everything, but part of what makes characters like Sonic or Shadow so fun is that they have attitude. The little lines they throw out mid-race or when they win, they add personality. Without that, it kind of flattens the character. And yeah, some people will say, who cares, it's a racing game. It doesn't need voice lines. That's true to an extent, the game isn't ruined without them. But when you're playing a character like Rusty Rose and she doesn't say anything, it doesn't feel quite right. Especially when you know how expressive she was in the show. And this isn't the first time Sega skipped voices. Even in past Sonic mobile games, they'd sometimes add in alternate characters or even new forms, and just not bother with new lines. Sometimes the characters shared the same voice clips or worse, just stayed silent. It feels like they treat voices as optional, especially in spin-offs, which is kind of sucks for the fans who love that side of the character. Honestly, for me personally, I'm just glad these characters are in the game. Like seeing the Werehog come back, or Prime characters like Rusty Rose and Tails 9 officially showing up in a racing game. That's already pretty cool. Same with SpongeBob and Patrick. I never thought they'd be racing alongside Sonic, but here we are. Sure, it'd be nice if they talked, but I get that Sega's trying to keep the budget in check. It's not ideal, but I'd rather have these characters in game and be silent than not have them at all. And there's always a chance Sega could add voices later. They might be waiting to see how the game performs first. If people are buying the DLC and playing the deluxe version, maybe a voice pack update comes down the line. It wouldn't be the first time they've added stuff like that post-launch. Plus, if fan feedback is loud enough, Sega might listen. It's happened before. Remember how much pushback there was around Sonic's redesign for the movie? The community has power when we speak up, and if people really care about this, it could make a difference. What I'd love to see, and this is kind of the ideal case, is that Sega surprises us with some voice updates later. Maybe not full dialogue trees or cutscenes, but just little racing lines, victory quotes, something simple that gives the characters a bit more life. Even if they reused old clips, that'd still be better than total silence. So yeah, if you ask me, I think CrossWorlds is going to have a lot of silent characters, Main cast will probably still talk, but bonus ones, probably not. And while that's not game breaking or anything, it does kinda change how connected you feel to them. Because yeah, gameplay is important, but voice lines, reactions, little quotes, they're part of what makes the characters feel alive. When you strip that away, it's noticeable. Anyway, what do you guys think? Would it bother you if prime characters and collabs don't talk? Or are you cool with it as long as the gameplay holds up? I'm curious what everyone's take is on this, because I know some fans are gonna really care and others would just shrug it off. Let me know in the comments, and if you want more Sonic videos like this, updates, theories, breakdowns, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.